Hit Boy talks losing millions at his highest point.
Yeah, man, he was on a podcast.
I saw that,
and I didn't even realize. He said in 2012, he says I had dumb bread, which he did because I remember we know like he started the bubble.
The throne.
Right,
but he said that's not where the money came from.
Right, because
it was his Interscope deal.
Right, by 2017, he said he was laying on the ground with $0 in his account after having millions, balled up like a fetus, crying.
Oh, maybe that's why he started doing those MIDI Unison Pack commercials on YouTube.
Remember you was talking about those the other day?
That everybody has seen. Man, if I would have had these when I was a starter, I'd be a billionaire by now.
Me and Lone was just talking about this. He said he was in a mansion in Beverly Hills. He said he blew it. He said I was investing in the homies. I was putting up money for everybody around me. And he said, keep in mind, this is back when he was doing sicko mode. Like Drake's verse was already recorded. He had been messing with Travis. And he said all that stuff was going on. And he still was looking up and was like, yo, it's no money in my account.
No wonder he worked so hard.
But he did talk about his resurgence and things that helped, especially the Nas collaborations. But with Hit Boy, this shocked me because I thought, and you hope for the best and say, the producers, they keeping the bread and making sure they do, what they need to do. But it brings up a good point as it relates to these artists and the younger producers when they get the bread, like having financial advisors or having a manager or something like that. Because sometimes we're told as up and coming producers, what you need a manager for. Why do you need a manager? You're not even in the game yet. Just focus on your craft, which can be true because we all know the concept of 10,000 hours. Put your work in. But at some point, somebody's going to have to watch the money and somebody's going to have your best interest. And hopefully that person is someone that you can trust.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the fact that he was up that high in 2012 shocked me that he was broke.
It doesn't shock me at all when you listen to what he said. Because it was like...
Well, he talks about his homies.
No, he's like, because it's a lot of times it's a situation where, hey, big dog going shopping, we all going shopping.
That's true.
Big dog going out to the steakhouse, we all going out to the steakhouse.
MC Hammer syndrome.
And if you ever been in a situation where, like, look, when you just taking, your lady out for a nice little meal
versus the homies,
and you look
everybody
up,
got filet mignon.
And you look up and you had a couple cocktails and appetizers, you'd be like, $200.
Crab legs is expensive.
You because the homies get to ordering stuff that's market price. Yeah, and and
telling you, them crab legs on the half shell expensive.
It ain't like the homies is in a restaurant being like, no, I don't want to do too much. Let me have
especially if you think, okay, I just produced for Watch the Throne.
Appetizers long.
And you're not gonna be like, no, we gonna be on a budget tonight, so everybody know you can't.
No, we celebrate.
You're like, you can't get the shrimp cocktail, and everybody's on a 2-drink maximum.
Yeah.
No, it's like, come on, man, let's do it. We living tonight.
But it's important, man. Fam was doing so much work,
and he had people living with him, and was paying other people's bills. I mean, like it goes.
Kevin Garnett did that early in his career, but he had NBA money.
Yeah,
true.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Yeah,
the OBF, the official block family. I remember that.
But man, we talking about a dude that was one of the guys. He had a go-to phase where he still might be that now with all this Nas work, but he talked about with that bread in 2012. I remember that year. Look, he was everywhere.
It's easy to get rich, but it's so easy to go back to being poor when you are in the music industry. I mean, look.
I mean, it's set up for the artist.
Rick James was rich at one point.
Yeah.
And when he died, he was in an apartment.
True.
And I'm not trying to.
No, I know.
But that's how. Like, you can't think about when somebody's at their height and think, oh, that's just how they live in the rest of their life. A lot of
T-Pain. That's another.
A lot of artists, have had to downgrade. They just don't down. They just don't tell you about it because that doesn't look fly on Instagram. It doesn't look fly on Instagram when the hit records dry up and when you went from doing 10,000 seaters to 1,500 seaters to state fairs.
That's why I respect.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I respect rapper Big Pooh so much because the interview when he was talking about, hey, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I had to Uber. I had to do this and this in between projects or in between.
A lot of these rappers didn't have regular jobs.
But I've never heard somebody just be as open and talk about it as freely as Pooh was when he was like, look, I'm going to tell y'all, like, we tasted it, we had it, but in between stuff, I had to do this.
What's his name does?
I respect that.
But
who does a wrap up?
But they know where
Mad
skills. Mad
He
skills.
talks
Mad
about
skills.
having to work regular jobs a lot.
I mean, you got to realize a lot of these rappers, even Pooh, like even though they were big on the underground, they're not making like lots and lots of money,
No.
especially if they're not touring.
But
You know,
think
and
about
Little Brother
somebody-
wasn't a group anymore. You know what I mean?
Think about
So-
somebody like 𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗀 who had a gold record,
Yeah.
who was on with Wu-Tang, touring with Wu-Tang, who wound up driving a cab.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like you got to understand. Like, and a lot of artists got to look. Dre said it. You know, on if you don't move your feet, I don't eat. You know, and
Yeah.
I'm not saying it as eloquent as he did,
But it's true.
But, you can't act like your highest moment is going to be what you're going to be doing forever.
Right.
Like everybody is not Prince, Michael Jackson, Usher,
True.
Beyonce, to where they just keep this thing moving. A lot of times, like, okay, you got to look at if I got a platinum record, this is the best I'm ever going to do, and I need to spend my money like that. If I got a hit on Jay-Z and Kanye, I got to make sure this money lasts.
Bruh.
Like
What you say, Long?
I've seen people like it's not a big deal. It is a common thing to see people who were at the top. They're at all the award shows. You know what I'm saying? They're having things.
It's a cycle.
They are on the cover of these magazines, and then 5 years later, they couldn't go to any of these award shows if they paid to get in.
Nope.
What were you about to say, Long?
Nah, like if I ever get a lot of money, I'm going to be very much like Kawhi.
Kawhi Leonard, yeah.
Very much like Kawhi Leonard. Like
Driving his Blazer
I'm a well, I mean, I might get a newer
I
vehicle.
think he got a Suburban.
or Suburban.
Yeah,
I think
but-
it's a Suburban.
But I mean, it's the same. Like,
And that's him getting NBA money. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
I
saying?
mean-
Guaranteed contracts.
I
don't even know Kawhi's played this year.
I know what it's like to have a decent amount of money and then to not
have
have
it.
money. And when you understand that, then you understand how to move a little bit different.
Yep.
And so, like, I understand how to move different because I reframed my life intentionally around.
Something you
that.
said, you talked about when I first talked about the topic is I heard you mumbled that you said financial literacy.
Yeah.
And how important
Well,
concept
the first time, if you don't come from money,
right.
the first time you get money,
Yeah.
You don't know how to handle it.
you just spend it. You know,
Yeah.
even if you think you're saving it, you know, a lot of times you're spending more than, like, the first time I got money, I spent money. I bought a house, I bought a car, I bought a pool table, I bought a TV, I bought a TV. That was my housewarming gift to myself when TVs cost $2,000. Like,
Come on now,
you know what I
I
mean?
know.
So, like, you know, it's, and I thought I was saving money, but I wasn't really. You know what I mean? So it's you just don't. It's just something that either you have to go through, or you have to have enough people around you to be able to guide you so you don't screw it all up.
And sometimes you have. I'm not going to say I want this for anybody, but sometimes you got to lose it to realize how to keep it. Like now,
Yeah, for sure.
you got to understand. In my
humbling.
business, in the hospitality and service industry, like I for the longest time I had the mentality that there was going to be another pandemic. So I put up money like there was another pandemic coming. I was going to be out of work for a year. So I'm, between putting money into the market and just putting money away, like if something bad happens again and like there's some kind of, if the squirrel flu comes out or whatever, like I'm ready to.
Squirrel flu.
Squirrel flu hit, I'm good. But I'm just saying,
Oh, you stupid.
like you don't, like a lot of times people don't have that mentality. They just think, okay, we back to work, we getting it, and we gonna be good.
Yeah.
And you gotta understand, at any time, there are just market forces that will turn your water off.
The same way, that's the problem with gambling. People gamble, win that money, and then lose it and think they can just keep trying again and trying again. And
Hey,
don't
them,
work that way.
them parlays will get you.
Oh no,
Them parlays will
Look,
get you. Be careful out there. Them parlays will
I
get
remember
you.
I put $1 into a certain situation and got 100 back on something I didn't. I was like, well, I should be doing this every night.
Let me
Nope.
put $20 in next time.
Something told
100
me,
nights later.
somebody told me put 70 of that away, and I'll play with this 30.
Yeah.
Because if I'd have kept that entire 100, I'd have just blown it.
Yeah.
Hey, be careful with them parlays out there, y'all. They'll give you a high real quick,
Look,
and then you'll be
there's
right
a-
back.
there's a
you don't want to
reason-
be on the other side of a dump truck, man.
Look, you got look. There's a reason.
Hey, you don't.
There's a reason
It's
why
heavy.
FanDuel and MGM they advertise in all 50 states, even though like all this stuff is only like legal in like 15, 16
You
states.
can go to a state.
That's how much money
you
they're
can go
making.
to a state where you're not from there, but in your state it's legal, And then it won't let you place a bet.
No, because it does. You got the GPS in your phone lets you try to hook up a bet in Missouri.
Yeah,
it's not gonna go through.
Not gonna go through. Or Illinois, not gonna go through.
You thought you won about 50 grand. Nope.
Disappointed in
them.
Did
it before you left.
Nope. You should have set all that up or before you left wherever you was from.
All right, man. Is there anything I missed, man, before we get out of here? I think we about 5 over. We good long.
And you shut the fuck up.
I'm gonna shut up then. Yeah.